Stan Perry of Spring Hill, Florida is the living definition of a Renaissance man.
Had an uneventful childhood. I joined the Marine Corps in 1968. And when I got out of the Marine Corps, I became a motorcycle police officer in Indiana. And later on, 1984, I think, I went to work for the federal government. I sold tactical fighter jet aircraft to foreign governments for the State Department. And had a great career. I retired in 2007. All my hobbies include painting. All of these are mine. I've been playing the guitar since I was 8 years old, so that's 60 years now I've been playing the guitar.
But lower back pain slowly started to impact his everyday life.
I started having pain in about 2012. And at first it was sort of just an annoyance, and it got worse as time went by. About 2014, it finally became noticeable to the place that I needed something done about it. I went to an orthopedic surgeon in Jacksonville who said that he could fix the problem if I had a discectomy, laminectomy, and foraminotomy, and that was done in 2014. After that surgery, I was pain-free for about 2 years. Around 2016, I started having more pain, but it was different. It wasn't the same. It wasn't radiating down my legs and electrical. It was just different. I can't really describe it. So I went back to that doctor, and he told me that I needed a spinal fusion. After the fusion was done, almost immediately I was in far worse pain than I was in prior to the surgery. I was suffering a lot. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand. I couldn't do anything except laying in the bed or leaning in my recliner back at about a 30 or 40 degree angle to get the weight off of my lower back. My orthopedic surgeon, after 2 or 3 months, told me there was nothing he could do for me and that I needed to find a pain doctor and get on some kind of pain relief because that was going to be my future.
After being told that nothing more could be done for him, Stan began seeing a pain management doctor. It was at this time that he unknowingly started down the dangerous road to opioid addiction.
We began with the pain doctor with 15 milligrams of oxycodone, which offered a bit of relief, but not enough to allow me to function normally. At that point, I could get up and I could actually move around. I could ride in a car for a little ways, not long. Very shortly after I started going to him, he said, well, we needed to try something stronger. So he put me on morphine, oral morphine. And I was so sick all the time with that. I was vomiting and nauseous almost 24 hours a day. And I got back in touch with him, and I said, I don't know if I'm having pain. I'm so sick. It's miserable beyond misery. So he prescribed fentanyl patches, which I started on. It was 50 micrograms, I think, was the patch strength. And you put it on, basically on your abdomen somewhere, and you wait 3 days, and you remove it, and you put on a new one. Probably 2 months went by, and I had taken my wife out to dinner, and from nowhere, suddenly, sweat was pouring out of my body like I had a hose inside me that was spewing water. It was amazing. We came home, and I was deathly ill. I mean, just horrible pain, vomiting. It was incredible. And I called my pain doctor, who said, without hesitation, have you changed your patch? And I said, it's not due to be changed until tomorrow. And he said, put a new patch on. I put a new patch on, and within 5 minutes, I was fine. It was my first experience and an awakening to addiction, which I always thought was, people get high off the drug and they say, oh boy, I want to get high tomorrow, and that being the addiction. It isn't. You're so sick and your body's so racked with pain, it has to have that drug again for you to just be normal and not sick.
Getting himself off of all the medications meant that he had to find a resolution to his condition. Stan took the next steps to finally rid himself of the pain.
I heard about the Bonati Spine Institute because my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time and my best friend, and couldn't get around at all without her walker, She found Bonati through an association with one of her friends who had been treated there. And rather than going through all of the major typical standard surgeries, she went to Bonati's. It was a miracle to me because in the whole time we had dated, I had never actually seen her walk unsupported. And we went into Bonati's, and on Tuesday morning I took her in for her surgery, and Tuesday afternoon she walked out just walking. No walker, and hasn't had one since, and been pain-free.
He walked us through several Bonati spine procedures.
The first surgery was in January 2018, and they removed half of the hardware that had been installed by the orthopedic surgeon. Well, the second procedure, they went back in on the other side and removed the other half of the hardware that had been installed during the Spinal Fusion. I did have some pain relief after that. When they took the second set of hardware out, I did have a noticeable change in the nature and the intensity of the pain. This is actually half of the hardware that was installed during my spinal fusion, and I was amazed at the size of these things that are installed in your body. These are just 2 of 4 screws that were put in. Look at the size of this thing. And there were 4 of these, along with some other hardware that connected these together, and a plate and a couple of nuts and bolts. I mean, it's the kind of thing you'd put your backyard deck together with. This is fusion hardware. Don't do it.
Now that the unnecessary hardware was finally out of the way, the Bonati surgical team was able to target the aggravated area and eliminate the cause of the pain.
Then I came in for the third procedure. Third procedure, they actually got in and started doing some of the technical work on my body instead of on my installed muffler system. And after that surgery, I did know that things had improved, that there was a substantial improvement in not only the relief of my pain, but also in the feeling that I could actually move, which was miraculous to me. Before that, I could barely move without suffering. They got me up and we walked around, and I wasn't suffering like I had been before, and it was a wonderful experience. I'm mobile, I can walk, I can sit. I couldn't do any of those things before. It's been remarkable, and it's made my life back to being alive. I think it's an incredible institute. The care you get there is so personalized. They know you, they're expecting you, they know your history. It's a lot like having a family doctor who's actually part of the family.
To see more stories of recovery just like this, search for the Bonati Spine Institute on Roku, Google Play, the Apple App Store, and Amazon Fire TV.